Hey everybody, it's Miss G, Gloria. Welcome everyone. This is Gloria Miss G, 50 Shades of Glow. What's up, YouTube? And what is up? No. What's going on? Hold on, y'all. Let me get this. I don't know why I did that. Let me get on. Hey, I hope everyone is well. This is Let's Talk Travel and Move to Africa. We're talking about South Sudan. So that's going to be very interesting. But let me get back on. All right, I don't know why on YouTube it just dropped. Maybe I hit a button. You know, I'll be hitting buttons. What's up? Okay, I don't want this to fall. Okay. Yes. So we are talking about Sudan, South Sudan today. Let me move this over. Okay. Why does it look so dark? Oh, it's falling. Lord. Y'all. Sorry about that. What's up? Y'all come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope all is good with y'all. Come on in. This probably won't be long because I don't watch the news much, but in my research, this is the Africa that they want us to think the entire Africa is. But as I said, I like to cover every single country. So we're going to cover every single country. And South Sudan was next. So we're going to talk a little bit about South Sudan. Fun fact is South Sudan is the youngest country in the world. They finally received their independence 2011. That's crazy, right? Crazy. What's up, YouTube? Where you checking in from? Yeah, so they are the youngest country in the world, getting their independence 2011. Okay. They have about 10 million people. The reason why I want to talk about Sudan is, the potential. How long? I don't know. But it's the potential here, but it is the Africa that everyone thinks Africa is. And like I said, I told y'all that, out of the 54 countries, 45 of them are the bomb, but it's just a handful. Less than 10% is like, okay, yeah, no, you don't want to go. So, South Sudan, since it is new, Sudan is going through major issues, have been. And so, unfortunately, with all the resources they have, they're not able to use. So they're in despair, and it's just government controlled. Government controlled. So basically, the only people that's really living there, as far as expat, it's no tourism. There's no tourism. It's a landlocked country. It's on the top of like Kenya, and it's like northeast Central Africa. So it's sitting, hey, Greg, it's sitting right in the middle, almost smack dab in the middle of Africa, is landlocked. So it as land, um, it has tons of resources, but it's not valuable to anyone at this moment. Well, it's valuable to people. They're using it for certain things like crude oil, and they have gold. They have tons of resources there, and resources that haven't even been touched or mined or anything like that. It's just basically they have three different types of terrains there. I guess that's the proper way to say it. So you have three different types. So you have like the savanna belt, you have the White Nile, so that's, the water, like the wetlands. It's not water, it's wetlands. Then you have the Savannah Belt that has the mountains and all of that. Then you have straight desert. So, it's not much there, especially to, if you're a tourist, this would be a place where you would do ecotourism. If you are really into just living with nature for real, don't mind seeing like boa constrictors. I don't, yeah, just, ecotourism and, and really and truly, it's not much. There is 10 million people that live there spread out. And even those 10 million people, South Sudan is so big. South Sudan is 239,000 square miles. That's bigger than France. I'm telling you, Africa's massive, massive. South Sudan is larger than France. 239,000 square miles. Okay. What else? Like I said, it's the youngest country in the world, given its independence after years of civil war in 2011. And Juba, Juba, Juba is the capital. Is the capital, and they have a little metropolitan thing going on, but it's right in that area, and that's it. So South Sudan is pretty just a flat surface, not touched. And they have their president is President Salva Kiir Maynard, it or something like that. So they're just trying to build up, but since there's heavy government, uh, they're being controlled, and their resources, I don't want to say be held hostage, but these are all the resources, natural resources they have, and it's not even being touched except for the crude oil. They're digging and getting oil. They keep it on the low. But they have crude oil. That is their major source, export source. But their untapped resources are gold, copper, zinc, manganese, iron ore, uranium, and marble. Okay. They also have resources, and this is all potential if you were, I guess, how the Chinese come in and they do a lot of infrastructure. The Chinese has not come into Sudan to do any infrastructures at this point, because what the Chinese have pretty much in common of when they pour a lot of money into the African countries, it's usually countries that are on the coast or have ports. So landlocked countries really don't serve too much of a purpose, except if they have oil or crops or whatsoever. But usually it's just flat terrain, flat terrain. So in South Sudan, you do have potential, potential industries. from the White Nile River, not the Nile River, but the White Nile River. That's pretty cool, right? So they have water resources that you can do irrigation, fishery, hydropower, and hydropower goes into solar and all of that. But it's just such an infant and not standing on its own. Hey, Miss Ernestine, I miss you. How you doing? Yeah, they're basically an infant. So they're just trying to get their bearings. So I'm not sure how long it may take. And then they have all of the, still civil war in that area. So it may take a long time. But like I told y'all, I want to talk about the different countries on the continent. And, I don't want to romanticize and just show y'all the good. I want to talk about each one of the countries. So, but they have the resources to do like the water resources and also ecotourism, safari that they don't have at the moment. But they got to get major securities because the unfortunate thing is that this would be great to have safaris and national parks. The thing here is that, there's no protection for the animals. So in this area, poaching is big. In the other countries, poaching is, forbidden against the law or whatsoever. You can really get in big trouble. But in Sudan, they don't have that protect. So they have gorgeous wildlife, but there are poachers out there. So it's tons of potential. I'm not sure, I don't have a crystal ball to really see what's going on, what could go on, or what the potential is. But what I do know is when you really don't have like water, you have, if you don't have a coast, and if you don't have like rivers, nice rivers, people just not feeling it. People aren't feeling it. So, what else? This is going to be a quick one tonight. Um, what else? Okay, so there's 60 different ethnic groups. The major ethnic group is the Dinkas, okay? And their language, their official language for South Sudan is Dinka, okay? Uh, their official language for business is English, so that's good. But they have a variety of different, they have Arabic up towards the north, they speak. So it's all different languages that are spoken, but the national language is Dinka, and then the professional language, business, and all of that is English. Food, just typical food, cassava, that's a staple. Like in other countries, it's almost like looks like type of a pancake type of thing, and you eat it with soup or with your meal like that. That's a staple. And then a sita, that's like breakfast. So it's like a porridge. Okay. Is very restrictive. So, it's not a tourist area. It's not even close. I'm going to tell you. It's not a tourist area. So with it not being a tourist area, because usually tourism is the introduction um, to expats and you living there longer term. No. And if you are caught with like a phone or taking pictures, they will threaten or take your phone. It's not cool, not cool at all. Very restrictive, and it's no filming at all. So they have a long way to go compared to like their next door neighbors is crazy. Like Kenya's right next door, like right south of them. Kenya south of them. Kenya is uh, being named the Savannah Silicon Valley, and then you have Ethiopia next door. And it's just so weird. It reminds me of like Baltimore. If anybody knows Baltimore, like you'll be walking down the street in Baltimore near John Hopkins, and you'll see somebody walking a kid down the block and drop dead gorgeous brownstones, and then literally the very next block, the block is just like the corner. The house is on the corner. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, this is one of the few. I told you like 54, so like nine. I don't even think it's nine countries that are like off limits, but this one is. And this one, stays in the news for not, good reason, and they have their issues. But this is just an example of what they feed us, of what the the larger Africa is, the continent is, and it's not. It's not. This is just a small fraction, small fraction. The cost of living. Most of the people that live there, they're with NGOs or government, and the government pays for their housing. So their housing is almost, the same price as living in the United States. So the cost of living, just modestly in South Sudan, but you're usually with an NGO or some type, or the embassy, something like that, is 1,800 to $3,000 a month. And if you are comfortable on diplomatic level, is $3,500 to $6,000 a month. So it's not cheap to live there. So if you're there for a purpose. A purpose. So that's all I got for you with wow, 20 minutes. Yeah, that's all I got for you on South Sudan. I want to thank y'all for jumping on tonight. I do appreciate you. Tomorrow, I believe, is South Africa. So that'll be like a polar opposite. South Africa started basically the whole trend of, expatriates and, starting to live your best life and everything like that. And Africa showing a western side. So South Africa is interesting. People have mixed feelings about South Africa, but South Africa is handling its business. So we're going to talk about South Africa tomorrow. Talk about the capital Joburg, and also talk about um, the surrounding waters and everything like that. So we're going to talk about it, talk about Santon. That is the richest mile in Africa. So we're going to check it out tomorrow. And I want to thank y'all so much. Y'all take care. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.